Welcome to 2025 and welcome to quarterfinal Thursday at these World Juniors. We've enjoyed our time here in Ottawa, been a fantastic host, and now we're on the home stretch. Latvia has had a dream tournament so far, but does it have one more upset in them? They've never beat Sweden at the World Juniors and never won a quarterfinal before, so what a feat that would be here today, but it won't come easy. Sweden put together another dominant preliminary round, the only team to win all 4 of its games, but the knockout stage is where the Swedes have faltered in the past as they continue to chase their first gold medal since 2012. It's going to be a great day at these 2025 World Juniors, so let's get the party started. And a very happy new year to all of you watching us here on TSN NHL Network. I'm your host, Laura Dykin. He is our analyst, Dave Reed, as we continue to celebrate 35 years at the World Juniors. The preliminary round, now a thing of the past. This is when the real tournament begins. So along with the 4 quarterfinal games we've got on the schedule today, the relegation game is going on right now as well over at Canadian Tire Center. Kazakhstan with a 2-1 lead over Germany. They're fighting to find out who will remain up with the big group again for next year's tournament. Canada and Czechia, a rematch from last year's quarterfinals. Finland and Slovakia also met a year ago, so we've got some great games coming up here today. Well, on paper, this one between Sweden and Latvia appears to be a major mismatch, but we could have said the same about Latvia and Canada last week, and we all know how that turned out. That result put the rest of this tournament on notice that upsets can happen at any time if you don't bring your A game. And now, here we are. And the stakes couldn't be higher. We've reached the win or go home portion of this tournament as we turn things over now to Craig Button and Brian Mudryk.
Laura, some fabulous young blue liners in this tournament, and 2 of them are tied for the tournament scoring lead. You have Cole Hudson for the United States, and Craig, in our feature game right now, it is the captain, Axel Sandin Pellikka, 4 goals and 8 points.
Yeah, and he's just one of a great trio for Sweden. And Dave Reed, thank you, Dave, for giving me all the good material, but this trio of defenders is outstanding, led by Axel Sandin Pellikka. The ability to control the game in all its different areas is significant. Tommy Wilander, he's just getting better as the tournament gets moving forward. And then Theo Lindstein, the elite skating ability, they're all different, but they're all elite. And when you have these 3 guys out on the ice, they're significant. The second line, Wahlberg, Nielsen, and Eklund have really driven significant play for Sweden to this point. And they're going to be expected to carry it again going forward. But when you have 2 really good scoring lines that can threaten in so many different ways, and you have that trio of defenders, we can talk upset all we want, but this is a big, steep hill for Latvia to try to climb.
Latvia, best finish ever, 7th. That was in Edmonton 2022, a chance to get to a semifinal, but they have to knock off Goliath here. Laura.
And in their head-to-head history, Sweden has dominated Latvia. Perfect 6-0 record, outscoring them 42-9 in the process, as you can see. But don't forget, Latvia had never beat Canada at this tournament before last week. Anything can happen, and the Swedes are all too aware of that, because one of Latvia's greatest hockey victories came against Sweden just 19 months ago. It was in the quarterfinals at the 2023 Men's World Hockey Championship in Riga, Latvia. Canucks prospect Artur Silovs stopped 40 of the 41 shots in Latvia's stunning 3-1 win. Latvia advanced to the medal round of a double IHF event for the very first time in its history and ended up winning a bronze medal. And I think the country is still partying from that victory. So we heard Craig and Brian speaking about one of the strengths of the Sweden team, and that is the blue line. The other, the power play, enters today with the top power play mark in the entire tournament. Why has this group been so effective here in Ottawa?
Well, you've got to go back and look at their blue line once again. Axel Sandin Pellikka and Tommy Wilander, they've got 4 of the 7 power play goals. The power play is clicking at 35%, which isn't a good thing for Latvia, who is the worst penalty kill at 50% in the tournament. They move the puck around so efficiently. The key to their power play is number 4, Axel Sandin Pellikka. He gets so low, and so they play 4 forwards down low and 1 forward high. And usually it's Wilander, who's got a fantastic wrist shot. He doesn't use the big one-timer. He's more of a wrist shot type of guy. They've got 3 lines up front that have scored a power play goal. They can score from the back end. They're scoring down low. This is a very dynamic team, and it's going to be a real challenge for Latvia in this game to stay out of the penalty box and stop the power play.
When you mention Latvia, you got to mention their starter, Leenaerts Veldbergs, who's been one of the stars of this tournament. He's played every single second so far here at these World Juniors, had that big win over Canada. If there's going to be ever any talk of an upset, he's got to be on his A game again, too.
No question about it, Laura. We've seen in this tournament, you see in these tournaments so often, all of a sudden one goaltender comes to a game and you cannot beat him, and boom, that team moves on to the medal rounds, and that's exactly what Leenaerts Veldbergs is expected to do for Latvia. Plays for Sherbak of the Q. He stopped 55 of 57 shots against Canada in a huge 3-2 shootout win. That doesn't include the 8 shootouts shots that he stopped in that game as well. He has been absolutely dynamite. His team plays a very tight defense in front of him. They force you to really power through. Sweden's going to be challenged to get to the front of the net against Latvia. This is going to be a high offense against one of the best goaltenders in the tournament game. We'll see who comes out on the winning side.
The only other time Ottawa hosted this tournament, 2009, we saw a massive upset in the quarterfinals with Slovakia knocking off the U.S. Could we see another now in 2025? Let's find out. It's almost time to officially drop the puck on this quarterfinal Thursday.
The 2025 IIHF World Junior Championship from Ottawa, Ontario is proudly presented by TELUS, now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. By Esso, from the Esso Medals program to representing Team Canada. Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons Flatbread Pizza. Order on the Tim's app today.
It is quarterfinal Thursday here in the nation's capital, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Win, you move on. Lose, you go home. Our first of 2 quarterfinals here at TD Place, and we begin with Sweden taking on Latvia. We'll meet the officials for this afternoon's game. The referees are from Canada and Finland, and the men running the lines from the United States and Czechia. The busiest goalie in the tournament, Leenaerts Veldbergs, upset Canada, winning 3-2 in that shootout. He has been dynamite for his side. And Melker Thelin, a 3-0 record, has allowed 9 goals on 82 shots in the tournament. He gets the start for Team Sweden. Artis Bowles, 4th straight year behind the bench. He was an assistant when the men won that bronze medal at the Men's Worlds a couple years ago. And Magnus Havlet, is this finally the year that Sweden gets back on top and gets that gold medal? They have not won the gold since Calgary in 2012. So our first of 2 in this building. It is Sweden, it is Latvia. Sweden, a 6-0 record all-time versus Latvia as we get you set at center ice.
There we go, guys. New year, new us. Hey, here we go.
Here we go. Can't wait. Underway. Our first quarterfinal of the day here on TSN. There's the captain, Axel Sandin Pellikka, across for Bergqvist. He'll play to the right side. Unger Sora will barrel in for Sweden. The Carolina 2nd-round pick trying to create a little space in that corner. Edstrom, top line out early here for Sweden. David Edstrom to the line is pounded in. Unger Sora, he'll collect in the corner. Works it for Sandin Pellikka. The Red Wings' first-rounder. Tied for the tournament lead in scoring with Cole Hudson of Team USA. Played up the right side by Siunskis. Pass across, it was all tied up in the skates of Matejko, who's been the story for Latvia. Eriks Matejko had the winner versus Germany, had the shootout winner versus Canada, and he's a Capitals pick from last year's summer draft, and he's been outstanding for Latvia. Puck back to Tom Willander, part of the trio of great defensemen that Craig and Dave talked about, starring here for Sweden. And trying to get back to that gold medal game, Sweden losing last year to the United States on home soil for gold. Sweden dumps it in, chipped all the way down the ice as Theo Lindstein. Not enough for icing as Lindstein has it. David Slivchits watching him, and a turnover at the line. Pass intended for Mox, broken up though, and it's taken the other way by Felix Nilsson. Quick strike, and that was saved by Veldbergs. Back into the corner for Victor Eklund. 2025 draft eligible. The brother of the star in San Jose, also a first-round pick. Forsfall, good steal at center ice. He'll walk it in. Seb Forsfall takes it wide, loses his footing as play goes below the goal line. Isak Hedquist Back to the point. That shot deflected just wide as Viggo Gustafsson let it go. Forsfall, the backhand in. Hedquist trying to spin away from traffic. He will. Hallquist across. Wrist shot. Gustafsson, that was blocked. Good job by Tuomas Mats, who got in the way. Sweden changing on the fly. Hallquist protects. That hit a body. It comes to Mats, and he finally pokes it to center ice. Here's Ouellette. Sweden trying to come again. Ouellette, wrist shot, and that was whistled just wide. Oscar Ouellette, one goal in the tournament, nearly opened the scoring there. But that rocket missed the mark. Ouellette in the corner. Pokes it behind the net for Eriksson. Eriksson in front to the line and held in by Sweden. Good pressure by the Swedes here early. And finally, relieved by Naundich as he got it to center. Right back to the Latvian line. Tenacious work early here from Sweden. Pass up to center ice. Dalmers trying to get that shot towards the net. He got it in deep. Trying to track it is Naundich. Naundich right in front, and Maciejewski's fanned on the shot. Here's Trop. He'll fire it in. What a birthday he had on December 31st. 2 goals on his birthday. His mom and sister had just flown in and got to watch that in person. Sandy Pellikka's shot off a stick. Missed. Puck in the corner. Here's Matejko. He'll skate it to center. Eriks Matejko takes it wide. He'll backhand it in. He's in with Mornies. Bouncing puck to the line. Chopped to center. Tiunskis up the left wing. Matejko got clipped as he was trying to get to it towards the net. Puck battle in the corner. Dug out by Bergquist, the Montreal Canadiens 7th rounder. Ungersorm works it to center. Here's Otto Stenberg, another one of the star players up front for Sweden. He's got 6 points, 1 goal in the tournament thus far. Racing in is Victor Eklund. He is a little buzzsaw for Sweden. He's had a wonderful tournament. Long wrist shot as Lindstein missed everything. Puck at center as Sirotskis tried to lift the stick and come in. Lipschitz, 1-on-3. He'll barrel into the corner. Lipschitz couldn't take it towards the net. He's playing in a U20 league in Finland. Belander the other way. Belander towards the net. And no screen, and that time Feldbergs, he'll make the stop.
Sweden is so efficient in getting organized in their own zone. Position-wise, how quick they get to a puck, how quick they move a puck, and then they come right out of their zone. And then the defenders are going to be part of it. Lindstein comes over, disrupts it. Really good positioning by Nielsen. Lindstein gets back to position, and here they come right out of the zone, and there's Wilander jumping into the attack, and you get the shot. So hard to forecheck. Dave Reed talked about this with the trio of defenders prior to the Czechia game. It's just a really, really hard group to put pressure on in the offensive zone, Sweden's defensive zone.
Off the draw, poke back to the line. Lindstein thought about the shot, loads up, hit a body, rebound try, Forsfall towards the net, and that was locked up at the skates of Marcus Sirotskis. He can't clear. Wilander, good job to hold the line. Wilander, 1-on-2, pops it free, spinning shot, and the stick goes flying and breaks. His Hedquist let it rip. Sweden reloads at center. Wilander. He'll get it back. The Canucks first rounder will play it back to Isak Hedquist. He'll go to the net. That long shot again handled by Feldbergs. Feldbergs playing each and every second of this tournament for Latvia. Back the other way, Ojolapa. He'll chip it in. He got dumped right at the blue line, trying to take the puck further. As his chip and chase didn't work out. That shot from the boards didn't find the mark from Bereskas. Stretch pass up the ice. Ouellette, first man in, no icing. He wanted Droff, and Droff barrels in behind the goalie. Ouellette trying to free it. Picked up by Linus Eriksson up top and hopped on Gustafsson. As Bereskas was going to chase after the puck, off to the change instead. Backhand in. Herman Droff, the Devils' third rounder. Had his stick lifted. He'll let off for a change. As Latvia controls off the glass, Briadas down the ice and trying to dig for it was Dalmers. Axel Sandy Pellikka. When he left the SHL top league with ŠVECIJA in Sweden, he led all defensemen as a teenager in scoring, and now he's tied for the tournament lead here. Lindstein for Undersor through center ice. He'll flip. Otto Stenberg will chip it behind the net. Enstrom was set up in front, hoping for that pass. Into the corner goes Nowdinch. Roberts Nowdinch will throw it to center. The closer this game remains, the better it is for Latvia. In a 0-0 game, the 3 shots all from Sweden. Literally no ozone time yet for the Latvians. Belander, long wrister, hit a body bouncing, and it goes to the left of Veldbergs. Stenberg takes it up high, keeps it into the line, and rifles it in. Unger Sorum will pick it up in the corner. Unger Sorum takes the body check from Dalmers. Unger Sorum to the net, backhand try, right to the crease, follow-up. And the best look as he drove play right in front of the net, and that wrister. Good chances, Felix Unger Sorum, a couple on that shift. And Lennart Veldbergs, we expect him to be busy. He's been busy early. And Unger Sorum trying to deliver. Good glove stop.
Well, Latvia with the big upset versus Canada, the shootout. Veldbergs was outstanding, beating Canada on Canadian ice, and then following up with an overtime win versus Germany. Eric Smatiko right in the middle of both of those winning shots. Coming back next year, and they got a good group of young players. You pointed out at the outset, Brian, like really good young players, including the guy that just took the face-off, Ernings.
Puck battle to the right of Veldbergs. And Latvia will remain at the U18 level for the 6th straight year when it goes to Texas again later on in April. As they manage to battle up there, and as those same players have success there, and they bring that up here to the World Junior. Puck battle continues, trying to free it was Zarodskis. He could not. Chipped in. Nielsen back up to the point. Sandy Pellica, he'll drop it off. Wahlberg, cross ice for Bergqvist. Bergqvist spinning, shooting, missed. Follow-up try, and that was Wahlberg trying to jam that towards the net. Wahlberg in front, oh, good late stick as Matejko got back and took that away. Great defensive stick, Bergqvist. Wahlberg, high shot, fought off that time by Veldbergs. And finally, Eric Matejko up on the right side. 14 goals in the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. Matejko, the captain of the St. John Sea Dogs. And he's been a star for Latvia. As a Latvia take it down in center. Wrist shot, score! And they are shocked. Seth Forsfield, the Latvian player, down. Forsfield the other way, and he rips it in to make it 1-0 Sweden.
That's Sirkins that's gone down, and as he was coming across to try to circle back to get on that wall where Sweden was trying to enter the zone, he gets tripped up here. Just as he's coming across. It happened so quickly, and as there's the shot by Forsfall right inside the post. You hear it kiss a little bit. The captain is now talking to the referees.
Unfortunately, hey, it sucks when you guys go down, but in that situation,
Sirkins is going down the tunnel.
Here's the collision. You can see it right at the end, but it doesn't look like incidental contact. It looks in that view right here that that's interference. That's a missed call by the officials. There's no question the fans are booing here. They should be booing here. That's a missed call that leads to a goal for Latvia. Latvia has every reason to be upset. That's interference 101 every day of the week.
That's the Canadian referee Mike Langdon talking to the head coach Art Disselbolds.
You can't miss those calls. You just can't. Sweden,
a 1-0 lead in our first quarterfinal. Seth Forsfield His second of the tournament, is Seattle's 6th-round pick. Plays with ŠVECIJA. The SHO with Axel Sandin Pellikka, Rasmus Bergqvist, all teammates back home in Sweden. They got the lead, and the pro-Latvia crowd in the building not liking the missed ball. 39 minutes gone in this first period. Hallqvist jams that towards the net. David Granberg, 2 goals, 6 points in the tournament for Granberg. He's been a nice offensive story, depth scoring for Sweden. It'll backhand in, and Granberg back to work.
Magnus Havla's found a really nice third line. They can skate, they're quick, they got energy, they complement one another. Granberg with the size. You can wear down teams with energy after those top 2 lines come out and challenge you offensively with their skill. They can become a real headache for any opponent. Is that force foul? And head up. Just gets it inside the post. It's almost like it kind of right over the pad, dips a little bit on Thalberg. Doesn't matter how it goes in, you celebrate. Sweden really established it. They're going to not mess around with the puck at the blue line. They're going to put it deep into the zone. They're going to grind down Latvia below the dots. That's what they did against Czechia. The same game plan here in the quarterfinal.
Nowdich trying to lead it up ice. Roberts Nowdich up the left wing. That was stopped right at the Swedish blue line. Otto Stenberg will backhand it in. Bellbergs out to play it. Bellbergs will chip that into the corner. Waiting for it is Roberts Nowdich. Comes back to the line. Wrist shot, Lindstad. That was blocked. Collected by Maciejewskis off the right side. Foot race on as Dahmer's trying to get there in time, but not. And they'll call that icing. And a little pushing and shoving after the whistle.
Well, the captain, really good positioning, and it's a nice block off the right leg. Lindstein stepping in there. Stanchion is down in the corner, trying to put that back in place before we get a face-off on the icing.
And Craig, the one bonus for Sweden, having played in this group, we saw a weird bounce. And Latvia's got to be ready for that. It's an old building, weird bounces, caroms. We've seen it all through group play, and you got to be sharp.
Well, on that icing, too, keep in mind, it's not who gets to the dot first anymore. It's who has the best chance to retrieve the puck. So there's been that little subtle change in the rule on when they call icing. I don't think there was any question Tommy Wilander was ahead. It's a good race, but one as they go in there, there's the play. Stanchion just kind of a little bump and a little fall.
Latvia missing one of their offensive pieces, too, as Bruno Osmais is not available for this game, not in the lineup. As that tries to score! What a rocket! Anton Wahlberg, 4th of the tournament, and just like that, it's 2-0 Sweden.
How quickly things happen. So there's an icing. Wilander gets there quick, and now a face-off play, and how quickly everybody gets into their positions. Right off the face-off, nice play by Nielsen, and Wahlberg's the one that wins the puck and then opens up on that right side inside the dot. He wins the puck, and just beautiful seam. That pass by Sandin Pellikka right through the seam, right on time, perfect location. 2-0 Sweden.
9th point of this tournament for Axel Sandin Pellikka, as he leads the tournament alone now in scoring without assist, and Wahlberg, the Sabres' second rounder, a rocket. He's got 4 on the tournament now. So Latvia now in some duress as Korvaka throws it in for Latvia. Coming after it is Matejko. Matejko in the corner. Big body check provided by Mordiens. Down the ice. Christian Sarts got there first. Off quickly. Matejko up the right wing. Closed off by Gustafsson as Matejko plays it behind the net. Leonskis. He got checked, so he'll throw it around the boards. Sarts. Below the goal line. Little pop pass. That was deflected. Went off Gustafsson, and he'll control the puck in his own zone. Here's Gustafsson through center ice. Gains the line and chips it into the corner. Oskar Priadis for Kurbaka. And Edquist picked it off, coming in, centering feet just out of the reach there of Granberg. Granberg throws it up top. Gustafsson making moves. Hallquist, he'll try cut in. Hallquist from high to low, hands it off in the corner. Forsfall in, shooting, and a knuckler just missed far post. Granberg at the goal line again. Down on the pass, hands it off. Forsfall right in front, and that was fanned on. What a pass. Forsfall, another chance to get his second of the game and period. Latvia still looking for their first official shot recorded on Melker Tallinn. Peterius Bulans, he's the captain, leads all players in the tournament in ice time, over 25 minutes per game for the captain Bulans. Fired from distance and held as Linus Eriksson let it go. Couple quick goals for Sweden in our first quarterfinal. First, it was Forsfall celebrating, and then Wahlberg right off that faceoff bangs it in. It's 2-0. Axel Sandy Pellikka, his third World Junior. He was the top defenseman of the tournament last year in the all-time list. He's moving on up for Swedes when it comes to defensemen. And a defender in this tournament has never led in scoring on their own, but two have come close. Eric Johnson, as you see Dad and Grandpa in the house watching Axel play. Eric Johnson and a guy that works with us, Carlo Koliakovo. Axel Sandy Pellikka stands alone for now, leading the tournament in scoring. Here's Lindstein, that shot, big block, Lindstein around Motts. He'll curl around, and Motts paid the price and blocked that one. Nielsen, wrist shot found on it. Motts back on his skates, and a good stick that's chipped to center by Ojalapa. In comes Felix Nilsson, high shot, and he missed up top, held in by Wahlberg. Anton Wahlberg has the 2-0 goal. Curls around, goes up top, Lindstein. He circles to the line, wrist shot in front, puck available and found by Leonard Feldbergs. And then after, temperatures heating up, and we've seen we've seen Victor Eklund. I love it. That's part of his game.
I mean, the way that Latvia, you admire Latvia, they stay in a structure. They don't chase outside the dots. If they see a chance where they can, you know, attack one-on-one, they will. But for the most part, they do a really good job of positional strength and not chasing around. But with that also goes the negative. You don't have a chance to get the puck. And Sweden's not going to give you any free looks. A little bit of the after party there.
Carrying over from New Year's Eve here in Ottawa. Happy New Year, by the way, everybody. Great to have you along. 2025, our first quarterfinal. Later tonight, we'll have Finland taking on Slovakia in the other quarter in our building. And it's Canada-Czechia, the big one, later tonight at Canadian Tire Center. Face off to the right of Feldbergs. Controlled by Korbaka. Viktoras Korbaka up the left wing all the way to Bergquist, and he'll throw it across to Axel Sandy Pellikka. Those two play together in the SHL, the top league, in ŠVECIJA back home in Sweden. Shots 11-0 in favor of Sweden. You want to score, you got to find a way to get some looks here on Melker Tallinn.
Axel Sandy Pellikka. When you can think the game at such an elite level, everything looks smooth. Everything is efficient. And certainly that describes Axel Sandin Pellikka's game. How many times, Brian, you've watched him lots. How many times have you seen him, Steve Yzerman? Yeah. Put a smile on your face, Steve. You got a brilliant young defender out there. It's going to be a big part of your future.
Craig, we watched him, or I saw him for the first time, U18 level. I don't think 6 games in, I looked at you, I tapped you on the shoulder, I said, I don't think this kid's made a mistake in his tournament yet. I mean, he's unbelievable.
And he doesn't, but how many times have you seen him, like, wind up and do that flash and dash and dazzle you? He doesn't do that. He just plays with such a economy of effort in the mind. You can't measure mental effort, and his mental effort is off the charts.
We get offsetting penalties here, as you saw Oskar Zbriadis and Troff will go to the box.
And I know this about Steve Yzerman, as do a lot of people, so it's not like I have proprietary information. He loves players that have high-end hockey sense.
Team Latvia, number 26, Sweden penalty. Both amount of penalties, roughing.
Craig, to follow up on what you said, like closes gaps, doesn't throw the puck into tough areas, and the outlet pass, bang, right on the stick.
But he understands the game. That's the IQ, right? Like, I mean, he knows how to alleviate pressure in his own zone. He knows where his options are. I mean, we can go into any area of the game, Brian, and talk about his brilliance. And again, you talk about high-end IQ, and you know, what value do you place on? No great player lacked high-end IQ.
And competitive. You saw in an interview recently that, you know what, this age group, it's his final chance. One thing on their mind, and it's gold this year. Bringing the gold medal, Trey Kroner, back to Sweden. He is a competitive young man with a big-time fire. So offsetting minors, which means 5-on-5. They don't go 4-on-4 from the offsetting minors here. Puck back to the line. Boulans skates it in. Boulans cutting it backhand try, and he just missed. Short side. But Teres Boulans, a goal in the tournament, and he drove play in.
Yeah, love the initiative by Boulans, but this is a really good play by David Edstrom. David Edstrom reads it, and then he comes right back down, and then he gets his stick there, and now Boulans can't get it to the front of the net. That's just excellent initiative by Boulans and an excellent defensive play with the stick by David Edstrom.
No one plays more minutes in the tournament thus far than Teres Boulans. Off the draw. Worked down low by Siunskis. Stenberg will clean it up in his own zone. Otto Stenberg, little flip. Worked up the ice. Waiting for it was Edstrom. Stenberg drops. Ungersora shakes off his check. Felix Ungersora. Down low, Edstrom. Wanted to get Stenberg in front. He was all alone. Wrist shot. Probably going wide, but gloved down by Feldbergs. And he'll hold.
I think Feldbergs early in this game, he understands that the more time we spend in our own zone and they have possession of the puck, Sweden being they having possession, the more chance you're going to have to break down. So Feldberg, okay, we'll get a stoppage. We'll get everything settled. We'll start from the face-off.
Comes into this game, third best save percentage. Obviously not the start he wanted. Had faced 176 shots and counting now in this tournament. He has been busy and trying to get Latvia their best ever finish at the World Juniors, but running into a very tough team versus Sweden. He's played every second, Craig.
Well, he has played every second, and you look at, like, just look at the shots he got, the saves he's made. In the shootout versus Canada, he stopped 7 consecutive shots. The only goal scored was by Matejko on the 16th shot of the shootout. So 15 times nobody could score, and he kept it out of the net 8 times for Latvia. Against very talented Canadian players.
Skating up ice is Tuomas Mats. He'll chip and chase after the puck. Mats in there with Bearskats. Puck battle in the corner, played for Tom Wilander. Wilander, he'll stop. Plays NCAA hockey at Boston University. He'll go to the left side. Skated in by Forsfall, still with it, protects in the corner. Seth Forsfall. In for Victor Eklund. Kicks it to his stick, trying to kick it free. He will, centers in front for Forsfall, still loose. Eklund, what great work below the goal line for that chance, and Feldbergs able to stop that. After a day off, the quarterfinals have arrived in the nation's capital. Glad you're with us, the World Junior on TSN.
Victor Eklund's always in the hunt for the puck. And a great example down low. He ends up being in the battle, uses his body. Now he starts using his feet. Feet to keep the puck alive, keep it in front of him. Then it goes to his hands, and then his head knows exactly who's open. And what a chance for Forsfall. He's just not able to handle the puck. But that's Victor Eklund. Just unbelievable dog on a bone.
Brother William, first round pick of San Jose. Sandy Pellica right on and through traffic. Feldbergs the stop.
Is Sir Pops the dog on a bone?
My guy, yeah.
Dog, yeah.
Yeah, he is. Sir Pops is my little Shih Tzu, my bud. He's here for the World Junior.
And again, off the face-off, Sandin Pellikka just takes a little peek, and he just tries to slip it through maybe a screen. Nice goaltending by Feldbergs to make sure that he tracks that and picks it up.
Christian Sarts, he played in the U18 in Finland, keeping Latvia up in the main championship there. Wahlberg, he'll push play into the corner. Wahlberg, checked by Kulbaka. To the far point, long high shot as Bergquist let it fly, stays in play. That one fought off by Feldbergs. Lipschitz reverses play for Kulbaka. Sarts, they'll start to play up ice. Divlevka waiting, Divlevka, Sarts cutting into the backhand and just through the crease. Best chance of the game for Latvia thus far. Sandin Pellikka for Angersora. Angersora into the corner, under 5 to go in this first period. 2-0 Sweden in our first quarterfinal. Otto Stenberg muscling for the puck in the corner. Played across. Hallquist shot deflected, and that was just wide. It was the flyby by Angersora and a good screen and redirect in front.
Yeah, Stenberg's closer to the net, and a high tip by Angersora had the potential to create all kinds of problems.
Here's a chance. Now Dinch waiting for help. Now Dinch, little backhand in. Left in the corner. Siunskis. In by Hallquist. Puck behind the net. Running. Take it free. It is Dalmers. Dalmers shoved off the puck, and finally it's David Edstrom. He's got it for Sweden. Viggo Gustafsson delays at his own line, and he sees his teammates are changing. He's going to join them, and now it's Theo Lindstein on the puck. Lindstein was a tournament all-star last year, returning player. He'll fire it right on to Feldbergs, and he's got to be alert and is, as that was stretched up ahead, intended for Siratskis. He couldn't handle the pass, and now brought in offside, and Latvia finally a good chance. Their first shot, it's a great chance in on Tallinn.
Yeah, Christian Sarts, again, the initiative and bringing it right to the net. It goes right between Tallinn's legs and skips out the other side. Just a couple of inches inside, and Latvia would have been on the board. The building would have erupted.
Christian Sarts, another U18 World participant last year in Finland at that World Championship. Going to the United States, the Under-18 World Hockey Championship. Great chance to look at the draft eligible players. A few of them in this game as well, including young Victor Eklund, who you described so well earlier. Siratskis takes play down low as Siratskis battling there with Matejko. Matejko plays it back to the line. That shot, bobbling. Siratskis, backhand right up. Follow-up try, swing and a miss. As Siratskis, a couple good chances for Latvia on that shift. There's Hedquist the other way. He's going to work it in deep. And maybe that'll get the confidence going here a little bit for Latvia. Here's Darius Ujanskis through center ice. Fired in by Dalmers. Plays in the Czech Extraliga, the top division in the Czech Republic. Alex Hurtig up the left side. Sarts trying to work it to Dalmers up the wing, and Sweden able to get the puck right at their blue line. Viktor Kulbaka, 1 assist in the tournament. He shifted into Sweden territory. They got to reload, and they'll come again. Led by Boulons. Divlevka, good work on the forecheck as Divlevka gets the puck behind the net. Divlevka up front, weak shot, a knuckler, and that was handled as Boulons, the captain. Latvia starting to push here. Pass up front, bobbling puck, and thought about the shot was Divlevka. He didn't pull the trigger, had it, and he takes play into the corner. Just must have bobbled on him. He couldn't get that release off. Minute 30 to go, first period. There's Hallquist to center ice. To the left side, Angersora. Angersora, wrist shot from distance into the glove of Feldbergs.
certainly when you get some chances, you get the puck in the offensive zone, Brian, you're going to build on your confidence, and that's exactly what we see Latvia doing here. A little spinning move. Again, nice play by Lindstein. Nice. But they're in such good position that they can get to those spots. They can make sure that they get their stick. We saw it with Edstrom earlier. We saw that just with Lindstein.
Three shots now for Latvia. Minute 24 to go. Our first quarterfinal. Winner moves on. Loser goes home at the World Junior Hockey Championship. Pass right in front. Edstrom shot, and it's underneath Feldbergs, who wasn't sure. We weren't sure, but he's able to make the save.
Another play off the faceoff, and again, the way they maneuver and the way they interchange, it's really nicely done. You see Edstrom here, and then he just opens up as Sorum does a little quick swing, and they become hard to check because as they swing off, they know where they want to get to. The player with the puck knows exactly where that player should be and is. Outstanding goaltending by Feldbergs.
Bergquist at the line, race shot in and out of the glove. Stenberg follows up, and it goes just behind the net. As Otto Stenberg, the Blues first rounder. Driving play there. Latvia the other way. High drive. That missed everything. Rattled by Marcus Sirodskis, and it's out of play here at TD Place.
We watched Sweden play, and we've seen some good examples of where Latvia seemingly has gained an advantage, but they can't build on that advantage because their positioning, their structure is so good that they cut them off. And there's going to be times when you're going to get beat and a team's going to gain an advantage on you, but what are you doing on the next play? What are you doing after that? Sweden really effective with their defensive play and their offensive play.
Dipshits on the draw, can't win it for Latvia. Belander trying to shake off Sirkins, and he will. It's played up the right side. Some pace from Borschwald, breaking in, wrist shot blocked. And then he collided. Davies Lipschitz plays it to his own line. Hedquist reaching for it. Good work by Didlevka. Able to skate it up ice, and it's to the Sweden line. Pop back to center. Starts. They'll throw it in. Belander on the puck first. 30 seconds remaining first period. Hedquist kicks it to his stick. 18-3. The shots in favor of Sweden. In comes Hedquist. He'll stop. His teammates change it. Hedquist reverses play. Good bounce back. Can't try. Came right on the stick of Felix Nilsson. And a weak backhander handled by Feldbergs. And no icing as time will wind down on this first period, and it is a great start for Sweden. They lead 2-0.
A dominant period for Sweden. Latvia got a little life in their play last 5 minutes, but a team that is showing every signs that they're serious about breaking the gold medal drought.
That drought going back to 2012. Sweden, Craig, 1 gold in the last 43 years, which is hard to believe when you think of the great young players to come out of that nation over the years. Our intermission is coming up next. Goals from Borschwald, Wahlberg, making it 2-0 Sweden as the World Juniors continues on TSN. Laura, Dave, next. Welcome back to our quarterfinal coverage here at the World Junior. It was a great start for Sweden, Zeb Borschwald, and then Anton Wahlberg, that rocket shot right off the draw, and just 3 shots thus far for Latvia. Glad you're watching our World Junior coverage. Brian Mudryk, Craig Button with you. No special teams yet. We haven't had a power play. That's probably good for Latvia. Sweden, the #1 power play in this tournament. Latvia, the worst kill. But face-offs, Craig, they can make a difference in these games.
Yeah, well, the way they establish puck possession off the face-off, but how quickly they get to work and attack. This is really significant with their ability to get everybody into the right positions and the quickness in which everybody moves. I mean, this leads to a great chance, and Edstrom just drags the defender. He's trying to catch up with him, but because they have so much great movement, it becomes really hard. And then we see right off of another face-off, this has led to the goal by Wahlberg. Wahlberg gets the puck off the face-off, up to Sandin Pellikka, and then the pass is delivered into the net. So it's not just, okay, we're going to win the face-off. They know exactly what they're going to do when they win the face-off, and they put pressure. Tommy Wielander talked to them about that in your interview with them after the first period. We want to keep putting pressure on their opponent. Well, it starts as soon as that puck gets dropped.
Tilted the ice in that first period, did Sweden. Latvia has to find a way to generate some shots and some offense and hope that Feldbergs can do the rest. Underway here in this second period. Touched in by Matejko. Backward Bergqvist. Bergqvist avoided the punishing check. Axel Sandin Pellikka for Stenberg off the ice. A little bit of space. Unger Sorum draws. There's David Edstrom. Edstrom behind the net. Unger Sorum got tripped up. And from his backside, tried to pass it to the point. Bergqvist there. Bergqvist hands it off. Pass all the way up to Sandin Pellikka. Fakes the shot towards the net. He wanted that tip. Bergqvist. That drive hit two skates and finally controlled and chipped by Latvia, but not out. Unger Sorum keeps it in. Unger Sorum waiting for Hill. Behind the net for Edstrom. Stenberg. Stenberg on the puck. Hill flip. Otto Stenberg. Edstrom's in front. Unger Sorum now parks himself in front of the net. High wrister. And that hit the body of Mornieks and out of play.
Tommy Wielander said to you during that first intermission interview, he said, you know what, play low risk, let's not do anything that harms ourselves. And that, like, not only do they put pressure on you, but they understand when they don't have the puck, they're not going to allow you any easy path. And they close on you, and they make sure that they don't take any risks because their position is so strong. How often have you seen Sweden chase the play? Rarely.
The dominant group in our group play, the #1 seed undefeated coming in as they beat Slovakia, Kazakhstan, Switzerland, and then that big one for the group, the final night, 4-2. They beat Czechia. They've been the cream of the crop so far. And now it's must-win quarterfinals underway here on TSN, our first of 2 games. Here's Tom Wielander at his own blue line, up for Nilsson. Nilsson played it away, and it was picked off by Jujanskis. To Nilsson in center, and Wahlberg chips at it. Vilevka. He gets pinned along the boards, trying to get to that puck. Jujanskis to the line, not out. Wahlberg steals in, shoots, and he missed glove side high. Wahlberg, what a look. And he knows they're going to the bench. Nilsson up top. Edquist, pop pass. Lindstein fanned on it, killed the shot. Still loose. Eklund spun around. And he couldn't get the shot off. Victor Eklund. Able to battle that free. Lindstein again. He whipped on the pass. Second effort works. Wielander trying to walk it in. Vilevka stayed with him. Wielander in the corner. Tom Wielander. Brings it up top, waiting, shooting, kick, save, that right paddle, big one, Feldbergs. Wielander again loads up, and that hit a body, went into the corner. Alquist, space in, he shoots, and finally clubbed down by Feldbergs.
2 minutes and 12 seconds into the second period, and Tommy Wielander is telling you exactly, and here's Wielander with the puck. Controlling it, then he gets himself into the shooting position. Good shot, rebound. The head's up the whole time and trying to find a seam off the pads of Feldbergs. Rebound. Boy, do they have a terrific young player in Vancouver in this guy. Detroit could say the same thing with Sandin Pellikka, and St. Louis could say the same thing with Theo Lindstein.
Wrist shot ripped by Gustafsson. Puck behind the net. Gustafsson. The Nashville draft pick had it, lost it. Puck over the line, picked up by Sarts. Sarts and center. There's Counts. Pushes it into the corner. Ojolapa. He couldn't get the puck towards the net. It's Granberg. Good steal, though, as Briades took it away and jams it back into Sweden territory. Up quickly to that right side. Granberg. He'll stop. Sweden changing. Granberg getting a little bit of help. Eriksson jumps on the ice. Eriksson trying to bring it towards the net as Briades took it away. Oskar Briades. He's checked at center. Masievskis couldn't free the puck. It's back to Bergqvist. Little chip. In skates Eriksson. Eriksson took his man down below the goal line. Noundich up the left side. Valdez-Dalmas crashes into the corner. Maciejewski's helping him. And the hand goes up, and it'll be a hold. So our first power play of this hockey game, and Sweden, it's the #1 power play in the tournament. The guilty party is Antoine Maciejewskis.
Trying to battle in the offensive zone, but get your hands wrapped around
Team
your
Latvia,
opponent.
get
called on the penalty, and there it is right there.
The power play, Craig, #1 in the tournament. 7 for 20. Latvia's penalty kill, unfortunately, the worst in the tournament. As is Sweden's, by the way. Their penalty kill is 9th. Latvia's 10th. But our first look at Sweden's power play, and it has been dynamite so far in this tournament. Two defensemen out there in Willander and Sandy Pellikka, as we've seen all tournament long for the top unit. Willander at the line for Sandy Pellikka. They'll dish down low. Edstrom. Eklund's in front. There's Understorm on the puck. Willander. Sandy Pellikka. Tom Willander. Sandy Pellikka one-timer ripped it up high and missed. Sandy Pellikka had the hat trick in the opening game for Sweden. 4 goals on the tournament. Understorm across. Tom Willander. Sandy Pellikka. They'll dish it down low. Eklund from the knee. Rebound. Score. Side of the net. Pounded it. David Edstrom. His second of the tournament power play goal. And Sweden has a 3-goal lead.
Bring around the Swedish Roses. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, all 5 players touch the puck. Everybody's in position. They retrieve the puck. Then they move into those positions to take advantage. Edstrom in front of the net, screening, play up top, working the goaltender to try to find the puck. And then it ends up coming right into the slot area and off the rebound. Sandy Pellikka with the play into Understorm quickly to Eklund. Rebound, 3-0.
Well, if you're scouting Sweden, stay out of the box. Their 8th power play goal now of the tournament. They've been deadly, 8 for 21.
They create multiple points of attack, and they do it differently with each of their power play units. That puts a lot of preparation stress on opponents to figure out who you're out against and what they are going to try to do. 2 different approaches from the different power play units.
Dipshits able to play it back for Kurbaka. Viktor Kurbaka out of his own zone. Up that left side, Daniel Sirkins. Pass in front. That was intended for Sarts. Axel Hurkin to the right side. Granlund poked at it as Ojalapa took it away from him. Rouse Ojalapa. Lost it to Granberg. Granberg cutting in. Derek beat in front. Oh, what a stop as that stayed out. I don't know how, as Hedquist denied in front by Feldbergs. Sweden comes again. Wrist shot tipped, and that just missed off the tip. Back up top, Sandy Pellikka. Floats one in, and that hit his teammate, Hedquist. Never made his way through. Hedquist again drives that shot, and that deflects out of play. Man, they are pushing here in the second. 27 shots and a 3-0 lead.
They're relentless. He's at Hedquist. The speed, there's a Granberg on it, and then they close on you. And then right in front of the net, puck, what a save by Feldbergs. Very easily could have been 4-0. I talked about that third line again. You know, Hedquist, Nielsen, and Granberg. So they score a goal, and what does Magnus Havlik come right back from that line? And they're relentless and purposeful and grind you down. If you're sitting on the Latvia bench, you're going, there's no chance for a rest. A mental one isn't going to happen, and a physical one, no chance.
Elias Eriksson wins the draw. Bergqvist, little backhand in deep. And Goulet's lost his helmet. He's got to head off the backhand right through the crease from Eriksson. Eriksson behind the puck. Behind the net with the puck. Eriksson protects it, wraps it in front. Puck loose, goes back behind the net. There's Traub. Irvin Traub He'll bring it up front. He tries to tuck that in high, short side, and he missed. Sandy Pellikka lost the puck, and look out, here's a chance. Siratskis, shoots, what a stop. Best of the game from Melker Tallinn. Marcus Siratskis, best chance in the game there for Latvia. He has not been busy, and when they needed him, a nice stop from Melker Tallinn.
And Axel Sandy Pellikka trying to make a play. You talk about how rarely you see him make a mistake. He's trying to make a play and can't get the puck settled down, and a real nice play. You're right, Tallinn has to be very, very sharp. As an opportunity to get on the board. Tallinn just shuts it right down. No chance to get between the legs.
Melker Tallinn, a Utah Hockey Club product, originally drafted by Arizona in the 5th round in 2023. Puck battle, back to the line. Latvia controls that drive off a skate as it was thrown in by Siunskis. Here's Sandy Pellikka. Through center ice, maneuvers, and then wrists it in. Kulaks in the corner will pick it up, plays it away from Stenberg. Siunskis to center, no further. Lindstein there, and he flips it right back in. There's 7 minutes gone here in this second period. Belander will dish down low for Stenberg. Siunskis trying to take it away. Lindstein bobbling puck, he holds it near point. Back down to Stenberg. Stenberg in front. Edstrom kicks it to a stick and couldn't get the shot off. Lindstein waiting. Backdoor feed right through the crease. The big cross check in front. Under Sorum just deflected it wide through the crease. He paid the price after. And he's actually shaking his leg off as he got crunched right in front of the net.
There's going to be a penalty on that play.
Well, it was front and center. Unger Sorum just missed, and then bang. Yeah, there's no doubting that one there. Siunskis to the box.
2 minutes, cross-checking.
Sweden back on the power play. We talked about it. It's elite. It's #1 in the tournament. And interesting, I mean, special teams, yeah, they make a difference in a short tournament. Look at power plays being the best. And Sweden is ranked #1, so that can guide you all the way to that gold medal. And that's the plan for Sweden. 1 goal in the last 43 years. They win. 1 for 1 in the power play. They control. Belander. Tom Belander. We'll get it back from Unger Sorum. Sandy Pellikka wanted the one-timer. It was his nice. Belander shoots. Good shot block there from Ozalapa. Sandy Pellikka. The Detroit Red Wings first rounder for Belander. Into the corner, Edstrom with Eklund. There's Eklund behind the net for Sandy Pellikka. Eklund. Victor Eklund. Goes high slot. Thought about the shot. He'll drop it off. Unger Sorum. Eklund in front at Edstrom, and that was a real good stick as Briadis broke it up and down the ice for Latvia. Good defensive play. Oskars Briadis. Tom Belander. Sandy Pellikka.
Too many men on the ice for Latvia.
There's 5. And they finally figured it out, the officials and Latvia, and my goodness, I love how alert the players are. We had a bunch of officials on the ice, and it'll be 5-on-3 for a minute 5 for Sweden.
Yeah, just those are miscommunication at the bench.
Team Latvia, minor penalty. Too many men on the ice.
See it right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's a great tactic, Craig, if you're not caught. But there's a lot of
it was
people
going on. It wasn't like somebody was racing to get off the ice. They were continuing to play. So out of the pan and into the fire now for Latvia.
So Eric Smatejko will serve the bench minor. He's got 3 goals in the tournament for Latvia. We mentioned that Bruno Osmais, who plays in Sweden in the Allsvenskan, the 2nd division there, he's not in this game for Latvia. Sandy Pellikka cross, one-time drive, and that deflected saves in play. Sandy Pellikka. Belander. Sandy Pellikka rips it, and another block. Good job that time. Daniel Sirkins got in the lane and deflected that out of play.
Continuing to apply pressure. keep in mind that for Sweden, this is preparation right off the back heel. I'm still so impressed with the players' willingness to just get in there and pay a price blocking shots.
Sandy Pellikka across. We'll get it back. One-time drop, another shot block. That was Sirkins again. Sandy Pellikka. Villander. Tom Villander. Another good stick on time. Boulans. And all the way to center. Great job this time by the Latvia penalty kick.
I'm going to make this mention about Sweden. They're playing on. Now it's about sharpening your game as you get ready for a semifinal game.
5-on-3 continues. Sandy Pellikka. Under Sorum. Villander. Dusts it off. Tom Villander. Down low. Edstrom's in front. Sandy Pellikka. Another strong stick as Ojalapa down the ice. And Taline's well out to play it. 3 in a row. Good sticks to break up those chances. 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Sandy Pellikka the line. Stenberg. Hands it off under Sorum. Now it's 5-on-4. Sandy Pellikka. Villander. Pocket pick towards the net, though, as he got it in deep. Edstrom. Sandy Pellikka. Tom Villander. Stenberg. He'll take it up high. Otto Stenberg. Villander. High shot and missed top corner. Sandy Pellikka. 30 seconds left now of 5-on-4. Unger Sorum. Using his edges, drops it off. Sandy Pellikka up top, and Lindstein found on it. Theo Lindstein. Sandy Pellikka. Overcomes Sirkins. Unger Sorum. Walks it in. Still with it. Unger Sorum. The dish wanted Edstrom. Another stick. That was Radonjic who broke that one up. Unger Sorum at the goal line. In front, Edstrom. And he couldn't get the shot off. Otto Stenberg. Still with it. Stenberg back to 5-on-5. Center feed it from Edstrom scores right at the end. David Edstrom bangs it in, and Sweden's got 4.
That was their first shot on goal on the power play on the two-man advantage. They had the shot blocks, the intercepted passes, and then when it right near the end when Latvia gets the player out of the box, just a beautiful play by Stenberg. Wheeling around it. Edstrom does such a good job of gaining body position as he slides in here and across. His stick is wide open and just such a perfect play. The timing by Edstrom, the position he has, and then the feed by Otto Stenberg. That is just beautiful.
So it sounds like
has a coach's challenge for a potential offside.
Challenge coming. Offside. So the head coach, Artis Avols, will challenge that. We'll see if Edstrom does indeed have his second of the game. The men running the lines, Shane Gustafsson and Daniel Hennick out of Czechia.
It was on the initial. Sandy Pellikka had come up with the puck at the blue line. They kind of got run into, like him and Stenberg ended up running, or Edstrom ended up running into each other. And you can see, yeah, the puck comes back. That's offside. Sandy Pellikka has to bring the puck back, and as he pulls it back out of the zone, right here, you're going to see him pull it back, and then Edstrom's offside. I think that goal is going to come back. It should come back. You're going to get a great look at it right here. It's offside.
About 4,000 people in the building agree with you, Craig, as they saw it on the Jumbotron here at TD Place.
Now what they're probably determining is what was the time on the clock when that occurred. Because there's a bunch of time that was elapsing as they were carrying the puck into the offensive zone. And there's like, so see, Sandy Pellikka's coming off, and yeah, that's awesome.
Yep. You love the fan support.
After coach's challenge, the play was offside. We have no goal. Please reset the game clock to 11:11.
So 1 minute and 3 seconds came off the clock. So that's, you know, trying to reset the clock back. So we're going to get a free 1 minute and 3 seconds of extra play in this quarterfinal.
And a little bit of power play time back on the clock. Just missed the Latvian drums, Craig. I haven't heard them a lot in the building. Those Latvian drums, man, you call them men's worlds overseas, you hear them. My goodness. You hear them about a month after the tournament in your head as well.
I could ask you, what's in your head after the tournament?
It's the Latvian drums. Well, you'll remember, I mean, there was a scene in Riga, Latvia 2 years ago, Craig. They won their first ever bronze medal, remember, at the men's worlds. It was a national holiday. The streets were packed. It was insane. And, you know, a special moment in Ottawa, as they start with the clock still, we'll share with you. Elvis Merzlikins, his favorite restaurant in Ottawa. The boys beat Canada. He bought them dinner here in Ottawa. Elvis Merzlikins, and the goalie right there, Feldsberg, says he was texting Elvis, and that was so cool. Elvis is one of the guys I look up to, and that's really special. You hear the NHL guys, they, you know, want to support their side. It's what makes the World Junior and that next generation supporting them so special at this tournament. So we think 3 seconds of power play time. And on the Swedish side, too, Ottawa Senators goalie Linus Ullmark, he had a visit before the tournament to the Swedish dressing room as well and inspired the boys.
They got to get this sorted out. There's more penalty time on this than 3 seconds.
Yeah, because what do you say, a minute 3 you thought, Craig? You're looking at it right now.
The time went off, but the penalty occurred at 7:47 of the period. That means 9:47. You know, here's the offside.
So it should be 3 seconds left of the two-man advantage at 11-11.
That's what they're trying to get sorted out.
Great job to our team. Wonderful tournament behind the scenes. We thank you all. As they just got to get that now sorted out on the ice. If you're just joining us, Orsfall made it 1-0, and then Wahlberg, Edstrom, we thought he had a second of the game, but it was taken back. Obviously the challenge.
Second penalty.
Meantime, it's 4-3 Germany in the relegation winner-take-all game over Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan at 1 point ahead in that game. That's at Canadian Tire Center. Denmark will come up to the main championship. They won the D1 championship. So they'll come up when the tournament goes to the United States next year in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. Mariucci Arena, and of course Xcel Energy Center, the Minnesota Wild play. Craig, we should send you down there. You can help them out, get this sorted out quick. Let's send you down. Fourth straight year he's behind the bench for this tournament. Artis Savols, we talked about that men's worlds, the bronze they won a couple years ago beating USA in OT. He was an assistant behind the bench. Artis Urbe was also an assistant coach on that team, the men's worlds.
Archie, as he's affectionately known.
218 wins for Artis Urbe in his NHL career, nearly 600 games. We mentioned Merzlikins also, over 200 games in Columbus in the NHL, and a popular guy when you buy dinner for the young guys. All right, so I think we finally got it sorted out. 3 seconds left. A 5-on-3.
At the time of the zone entry, we were playing 5-on-3. We will have 58 seconds left to number 10 and number 3 seconds left in the 2-minute penalty.
There you go. So technically, Sweden a chance to improve on that 1-for-1 on the power play here.
So we heard the referee explain it should be the other way around. The too many men on the ice penalty came after the initial penalties. So that's the one with longer time on it.
And away we go. Back underway after the delay. Successful challenge, and Sweden on the power play. Now it's a 5-on-4. Sandy Pellikka up top. Fan on the shot. Puck loose and cleared down the ice by Latvia. Tom Belander will pick it up. 40 seconds left of 5-on-4. Belander dishes back. Sandy Pellikka. Soren cruising in. Soren will drop it off. Belander. Soren. Belander. Wrist shot, and that was stopped. Bouncing puck on the line and held in as Veldbergs made the save. Enstrom's parked in front. Belander. Sandy Pellikka. Tom Belander. Sandy Pellikka wanted the one-timer. Waits. Belander. Eklund spinning, shooting, and that was a big save. Veldbergs says he'll stop that.
Really like that play. Victor Eklund's moving in on his forehand into the slot area, and now you can deliver it to him, and now he can spin and get that shot off. That becomes a hard play to defend, and that's a great save by Hellsbergs. Great pass, and there it is, just moving into that slot area. Hard to get to his stick. Gets into the middle, right in that inner slot for a good opportunity.
So Latvia fills it off again. One shot. And it remains a 3-0 lead for Sweden. Off that right side, Matejko lost the puck, couldn't bring it with him. As he was serving the bench minor for too many men, he's back on the ice, fired in, and that should be icing and will be against Sweden with 9:52 to go. Just 3 shots in the game for Latvia.
I'm spending a lot of time talking about Sweden's third line, but Magnus Havlet sees something that's very significant. Again, after a power play, let's establish back to the game, playing in the offensive zone, pressure. Don't let up on your opponents, and this third line has been excellent for Sweden.
Right in front, that shot, score! They've got life! Eric Matejko, he does it again, and it's 3-1. His 4th of the tournament, and don't go anywhere.
Another play off the face-off, and Latvia's right on it quick. You see Matejko just jump up into that high slot. Just a quick shot off the pass, and the puck doesn't come in clean for Tallinn. Just goes. There's the excitement and joy for Latvia. Kill a two-minute penalty. Have a goal disallowed after a challenge and then come right back with a goal. I don't know at this point in the game if it gets any better than that for Latvia.
Well, we had a crazy moment earlier in the tournament, Kazakhstan, and here they come again. Lipschitz in, and imagine if that one went home. My goodness. Here's Eklund the other way with Ilsen. Ilsen cutting in, wrist shot blocked. For Kazakhstan, scored 2 short-handed goals, coming off a 5-minute major against Slovakia. That was crazy in this building. Forced overtime, and Maxim Sturback, the young man who unfortunately had the giveaway at the line, he scored the OT winner with some redemption. There's a turnover. Nilsson on the puck for Sweden. Backhand, and he missed the mark. It has been a fun building. TD Place here in Ottawa, nation's capital. First time in World Junior here since 2009. And it has been a fun time. Here's Soren. He'll swerve in. Soren around the net. Still with the puck. Soren. Hansen drops it off. Hallquist at the line. William Hallquist. And he'll have it back to Soren. He's getting the steps in here. Hallquist leaves. Hurton. Wrist shot. And a piece there from Veldbergs. Latvia able to chip there to center. Bilevkov. That's Sweden's line. Bilevkov pins his man. Sirotskis almost brought it in, but it's the other way. Otto Stenberg racing after Christian Sorts. Stenberg nearly got the puck. Some help from Siunskis. They'll send that to the line. Siunskis fires it in. Lindstad. Landed. Wanted head quest, took the body check, but he released the puck to center. Under 8 to go second period, and that successful challenge giving Latvia some life as they've got a goal, the 4th of the tournament from Eric Matejko, the captain back in the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League for St. John. Puck across, and no one home as Noundich was passing, but nobody there. Thought he might rip the shot. Lander in his own zone. Lander, reverse ball, poked off his stick. And that goal, it's amazing what it does. Just inject it right in your lanes. Latvia's found a little bit of a gear here. Boulons up for Bearskats. Bearskats shoots it in. First guy back is Rasmus Bergqvist. And a tough one right on the table. Boulons, who skates it in. Boulons, wrist shot, that right pad. Tallinn got enough to keep it out. Held in by Ujanskis. Battle in the corner. Thomas Motz trying to get that to the line. Working there is Bearskats. And the captain will finally work it to the right side. Sandy Pellica to the line. Roulette. Stick handling. Roulette. Thought about centering. He did off the stick. But Latvia able to control the puck. It's Bearskats. The dish in. Good hand-eye by Gustafsson to knock that down. Viktor's Kurbaka. Kurbaka will start it up ice. Sends that pass up. He got the stick of Matejko. Siratskis battling for space with Matejko in the corner. Taken away by Nielsen. And then getting dumped behind the play was Matejko, and a penalty coming up, and Latvia will get a chance on the power play. Hallquist will go to the box. That was a massive challenge. Yeah, the no goal, you betcha. And then a goal from Matejko, and he's just drawn the penalty.
Wilhelm Hasquith has no ability to try to debate this penalty. Steps right into Matejko. That is interference. We saw the first goal of the game on a missed interference call. Led to the Forceval goal. Just go to the box, take your medicine, and hope your team kills the penalty.
Lipschitz, Edstrom. Edstrom wins it. Sandy Pellico trying to clear. There's Hertig for Nielsen, and he'll fire that down the ice. Edstrom racing after the puck. Boulons able to get there first. Patera's Boulons over the line with some speed. Boulons. Lipschitz. Lipschitz. Back up top. Down low is Matejko. Has the goal for Latvia. Matejko below the goal line. Spins away. Siunskis plays it up top. Gets it back. One-time drive. And I think that hit Matejko. Eris Siunskis. Back to the point. And the pass just held in. Boulons able to keep it in. Matejko to the forehand right through the crease area. And David Lipschitz was there, but he couldn't get a stick on it in time. Lipschitz trying to work it for Matejko. They back up top. Boulons loads up, tipped it just wide as Siratskis got the tip, and it just missed. Siratskis and shoots. Good stop, Tallinn. Another drive, Tallinn stops that. And finally clear. Good looks. Marcus Siratskis. A couple great chances on that power play. Dimitris Delevka. Time winding down. 25 seconds left in the minor penalty. Delevka over the line. Go backhanded in. Racing after it is Noundich. And Ujanskis in a second World Junior dumps it back in. Look out. Another one of those caroms we talked about. Thought that might have clipped the netting, but Tallinn able to work it up that left side, and just 3 shots, not bad, considering they got 8 in the game. but nothing doing on that power play. Latvia trying to come again. Puck in the corner. There's Bergquist. Otto Stenberg will pick it up. He's got Unger Sorum with him. Unger Sorum up that right side. Closed off by Briadis. Bergquist. Go backhanded back in. Stenberg couldn't handle it. Comes to Sarts. Sarts up the right wing. Dalmers able to pop that to center. In comes Sirkins. Sirkins had it, bobbled at the line. They got to get back on side, and it's Unger Sorum the other way. Unger Sorum towards the net. Belfort trying to play it, and he will. Daniil Sirkins lost it all the way back to Sweden. Tom Willander controls. Through center ice, Willander rips it in. Under 3 minutes to go, second period. Eklund digging for it up top. Lindstein shot, hit a skate. And picked up by Dalmers. Dalmers will chip and chase after it. Willander. To his line, no further, bouncing puck. And it's collected by Felix Nilsson. Nilsson, his speed through center, brings it over the line. Victor Eklund works it in deep. Nilsson steals, centering feed, Wahlberg in front, his stick lifted just in time. Good stick lift as Bears counts. Might have saved one there. Another weird bounce off these corner boards. Eklund barrels in with a body check. Stretch pass up for Lipschitz, who is coming on the ice. Sometimes Lipschitz just couldn't get that pass, and he got rocked by Bergquist in the corner. 2 minutes remaining. There's Forsberg. Drops it off. Hedquist. He'll lead. Race shot. Big stop of Sandy Pellica right on Velbergs. Brandberg. Pass in front. Oh, the give and go, and it was jammed up. Velbergs kept it out. Sandy Pellica. Brandberg up high. He shoots, and that was knocked down in front. That might have hit Hedquist. Brandberg below the goal line. Hustling over is Siunskis. And two players are tangled up in the corner, and they're still battling as the shot is right on. What's going on? Hedquist, he was down and continued the pushing and shoving with the captain, Boulons. How about Matejko? He's tied for the second most goals in a single tournament by Latvia in World Junior history, and right through the crease.
All right.
Scan the QR code on screen for 35% off Crave monthly plans for 4 months and start streaming HBO series you won't find anywhere else, plus the biggest blockbusters. Crave, endlessly entertaining. And guess what, Craig? It's now 40% off. That must have been your power. You looked at me and said, you know what, Brian, 35% is not enough. Let's give the people what they want. 40% off. We're doing it. Love it. Gotta go, Craig. You're a fan favorite. The power of TSN's director of scouting, just like that. 1:21 to go, 3-1 Sweden. And it's controlled it back to Burbaka. Burbaka up for Sirodskis. Sirodskis over the line. Winds up, rebound available, in tight, Buckler score! Jammed in again! Matejko, second of the game! What a World Junior for Aaron Matejko!
Mr. Mudryk, I got to give myself some advice. Not so fast. I had Sweden already in a semifinal game. Latvia has found their legs, have found a purpose. You can see where Willander falls down, and as the puck comes on, a big rebound. Matejko goes right inside, stops there, gets it with his skate, then with his stick. Just like that, it's 3-2, and what we've seen from, look at this is unbelievable. Under the pad of Tallinn, big, fat, juicy rebound, and we see this where a team kind of fools themselves into this false sense of contentment. And I think that that's what's happened to Sweden here. That power play, they never had a shot on goal on that 5-on-3. The block shots, and then all the time after. And now you breathe life. Tommy Willander said to you after the first period, we just got to be smart and keep the pressure on.
Eriks Matejko, his second of the game. He leads the tournament now in goal scoring. He's got 5. What a tournament for the young man. The single tournament record for a Latvian player is 6 by Roberts Bukārts back in 2010. Matejko is having a tournament here in Ottawa. 30 seconds left, second frame. Latvia within 1. And we talked about it. You keep this close, and it favors the Latvians, no doubt. And they try to come again. Sirkins. Then by Sandy Pelican. 15 seconds left in the period. There's Wahlberg through center ice. Wahlberg leads. Cranberg trying to get that on net. He was jammed up. That's on Wahlberg. 2 seconds remaining. Maybe one last chance towards the net. Kicked away. What a game and tournament for Eriks Matejko. 5 on the tournament, 2 in the game, and Latvia's got life.
He has both game winners, the shootout versus Canada and the overtime winner versus Germany. And there's 2 goals in this one. Have Latvia right in the quarterfinal, trying to create their second big upset of the World Junior Championship.
Washington took him in the 3rd round at the draft in Vegas at the Sphere, and he is lighting things up. They knocked off Canada. Can they knock off Sweden? 20 minutes left and maybe a little bit more. Your intermission is coming up next. Dave Reed, Laura Dyken, and Claire Hanna have you covered here at TD Place. What a start to quarterfinal Thursday here on TSN. David Edstrom, the power play goal. Remember that challenge. Sweden could have had 4, a great coach's challenge, and then Eriks Matejko pops a pair, and it's a 1-goal game. Coming back inside the building, Brad Butrick, Craig Button with you, and man, the captain in St. John, how proud are they of Matejko? Just think about what he did. Shootout winner versus Canada, OT winner versus Germany, 2 goals in this game. It has been so much fun to watch, Craig.
I don't believe any team should play with fear, but what Latvia has done in that second period is put fear in Sweden, and in a real productive way. They got to establish some ozone time off a face-off, Matejko with the first goal of the game. But the ability to get in and around the net, to be disruptive, to make Sweden respect you, to make Sweden think, oh boy, we better be sharp or we're going to get ourselves into even bigger trouble. They're in big trouble right now. Now, is it something that they can't overcome? No. But what you got to love about Latvia is that Latvia has taken this game and said, we're not going away lightly. We're not going away easy. Buckle up here for a 3rd period.
Sweden 6-0 all-time versus Latvia at the World Junior. 20 minutes remain. Can't wait for it. Underway 3rd period. And Matejko, now 1 goal shy of the Latvian record that Roberts Bukārts set in 2010 of 6. Here we go. Sirodskis in his own zone. He'll play to center as Matejko chips that, picked up by Bergqvist. Bergqvist sent down the ice. Little tap from Feldbergs as he set it up for Boulons. Sirodskis, that was intercepted. Eklund picked it off. Long wrist or miss. In comes Nielsen. Eklund, big body check. He crushed Delevka. Sweden controls. Verlander's shot never found its way through as Delevka blocked it, and it's chipped to center. Tom Verlander at center ice. They'll throw it across for Wahlberg. Long shot, glove down. Leonards, Feldbergs, they beat Goliath once. Can they do it again in this tournament?
And they put themselves in position to do that. Real good check here by Eklund. He just cuts right across through the crease and closes Delevka.
.30 saves for Feldbergs. You saw the graphic earlier in the game. He has been busy playing every single second of this tournament for Latvia. Dished up that right side. Montz couldn't take it any further. Puck foul at the line. Ujalapa able to pop it free. Leonskis waits and then he'll flip it in. Lindstein around the wall. Waiting for it is Kurbaka. Kurbaka will back in. Went for Bear Scouts. He lost the puck. There's Horsfall. He'll poke it for Verlander. Verlander behind his net. Orsval. Hedquist, little chip, and that'll get to center. Flashing for it was David Granberg. And it's worked right back in by Verlis Uljanskis.
Latvia does a nice job of cutting that off in the neutral zone, not allowing Sweden to establish an offensive zone presence.
Here's Eklund, chip and chase, trying to get around Sarts. Sarts played him well. They'll work it to the far wall. Masievskis lost the puck. Eklund, tenacious shift. He stole it, the backhand. Just out of the reach, though, of Nielsen. Nielsen in the corner. Wahlberg backs him up. Wahlberg trying to lift the stick. It's just held in, chipped into the near corner. Christian Sarts. Oh, big body check. Nielsen hits Sarts that time. Bodies flying here in this third period. As Tallinn will play it back to Gustafsson.
When Victor Eklund gets to the NHL, coaches are going to love him because he finds a way to be productive in so many different ways.
One coach will love him, the opposing coaches will not. Unger Sorum. He was pinned, bouncing puck through Sandy Pellikka as Bergquist has it. They'll play for Unger Sorum over the line. Cross for Stenberg. Otto Stenberg to Unger Sorum behind the net. Unger Sorum waiting, shooting, side of the net, jamming for it. Stenberg, and down and out was Felbergs, and he kept it out. What a look to Otto Stenberg. He was denied in tight.
Felbergs loses his stick, but again, getting the puck into the net area and then attacking, and Otto Stenberg finds himself right on the edge of the crease at the side of the net. As the puck comes in, he gets it with a skate, and he tries to kick it back into the slot area. He's not trying to kick it into the net. He's trying to kick it back into the slot area where perhaps Edstrom could get it. But this is the play off the skate. He gets it with a stick, can't jam it in. There's the little kick. Gotta be careful in that area. I know when the distinct kicking motion came in, that was one of the things they were really concerned about. That type of a play with the goaltender reaching for a puck.
Unger Sorum in the corner. Stenberg off the wall, wanted Bergquist. Bergquist spinning around, skates it in. Bergquist for Stenberg. Stenberg, Sandy Pellikka's drive, and in and out as Feldberg spotted off up high. Stenberg reaching for it as Dilevka able to work that down the ice. Here's Sandy Pellikka. 34 minutes gone, third period. Sweden leading by 1. Winner moves on to the semifinals, and the loser goes home. Exciting Thursday, a quarterfinal action of the World Junior here on TSN. In the corner is Lifshitz. Davies Lifshitz trying to free the puck. Comes to Hedquist. Isaac Hedquist flips to the right side. Granberg walks it in. David Granberg off the side of the pipe with a backhand. He gets taken down in the corner as Sirkins trying to deliver it out. There is Viktor's Kurbaka. Kurbaka gets another opportunity. Takes the check to do it. Sirkins jamming for it. Granberg able to free it. Off top, inside, make the shot. He'll circle around and throws it in. Here comes Nielsen. Nielsen and Kurbaka below the goal line. Eklund's turn. He goes to work. Him and Uljanskis battle for the puck in the corner. Good work by Sweden. Wahlberg cutting in. Couldn't get the backhand through. He was checked by Ojolapa. Volander accepts the pass at the line. He'll dish off. Wahlberg throws it across. Axel Hertig. He'll dump it in deep. There's Nielsen. It's popped on him. And that bounce allows Latvia to control. Sirkins chips to center. No further. Latvia, though, gets a change and they needed it. Wahlberg, lone man in. Towards the net. Through the crease. He got taken down. Unger Sorum, swing and a miss. And the other way goes Masievskis. Masievskis. He'll bring it in. They'll leave it for Noundich. And Unger Sorum took it away. Stenberg off the boards. A little bit of room. Stenberg had Enstrom going to the net. Couldn't find him. Unger Sorum battling at the line. David Enstrom brings it. Stenberg across. Unger Sorum thought about it, and the one-timer missed as Enstrom couldn't get the shot off. 6 minutes gone, third period. Sweden needs some insurance here. Centering feed in front. What a stop! Rebound! As he was stopped on a Stenberg. What a save by Velbergs. And the crowd comes alive. Lennart Velbergs, another one in this tournament.
Need good goaltending, but this might have been a little bit of bad luck for Otto Stenberg. Off the post. Velbergs is there, but you wouldn't want a much better player than Otto Stenberg on this play right in front of the net. He circles off, slides in, and again the pass is delivered and off the post, that close to making it 4-2. Just a fantastic spin off it. Velbergs loves to hear the sound of that. Just competing and competing.
You knew he needed a big game, and he's delivered thus far. What an exciting quarterfinal. They knocked off Canada. They're pushing Sweden hard. Our first of 2 quarters. Later on, we have Finland and Slovakia, but this one has been fun.
During the second intermission, Charlotte, a Swedish fan over here watching the World Junior Championship, asked her, what does Sweden have to do to get back on track? She goes, they got to get back to their focus. They gotta get back. And I think we've seen that here early in the third period.
The fans know what's up, Greg. They know what's up. Here's Willander off the draw. Tom Willander in front. Wrist shot. That was denied as Horschel couldn't get it through. Sweden will try again as they reload up top. Willander waiting, shooting just wide. Noundich finds the puck. He'll jam that down the ice. And no icing this time, so they'll get that change in. Neil Lindstein will set up behind Tallinn. Neil Lindstein will assess the ice. Goes to the left side. Off the wing comes Nielsen. He brought it in no further. Collected by Boulons. Pocket center. Ripped back in by Eklund. Out to play it is Velbergs. As he'll leave it for Boulons, the captain. Up the left wing. Eklund continues to battle as him and Nielsen. Nielsen picked his pocket. Nielsen spins around in the corner. Centering feed in front. Eklund the check. Right through the crease. Wahlberg, oh, and he knows it. He missed right through the crease. Couldn't catch in. Sweden desperate for some insurance here in this third period. Knocked down by Matejko. Looking for the hat-trick goal, Matejko. He has had a tournament for Latvia. Eklund out of his own zone. They'll get it to center, then the backhand in as he's taken down. And he's still tangled up as him and Mornieks back the other way. Latvia trying to break in, led by Delevka. Delevka takes it high. They'll drop it off. Korbaka spins, tried to center, high off his stick. And the other way, it's Ungersorov, a little bit of speed with Stenberg. Ungersorov walks it in, shoots, and the good save. Velbergs push that into the corner. 8 minutes got here. Exciting third period. Puck up the left side. Ilevka works it up by Lipschitz. Davies Lipschitz, he'll backhand it in deep. Tom Willander trying to clear up the wing. He was cut off. And the second effort works for Lindstein. Lindstein for Willander. Sweden some fresh legs out up front as Willander skates it in. Tom Willander. Pinned by Sartz. Willander frees it, center, nobody home. There goes Oshalapa. He couldn't clear. Granberg had it, lost it, pocket picked. He goes back to work as it was taken away by Oshalapa momentarily. Played by Bearskens. Oshalapa tried to fire it in deep. That hit Hurtig and allows Sweden to control.
Latvia has been very impressive in their own zone. They're a lot more confident in closing on Sweden and not getting running around. And Sweden have a tough time establishing that presence.
Ripped in for Nielsen as he fights for the puck. Sweden changing behind the play. Wahlberg so close to getting that fourth goal for Sweden. Mornieks tried to clean it up. He gets some help. And it's skated up the ice. Here's Matejko. 2 goals in the game. The captain for St. John in the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League pounding into that corner. Tried to send. Flipped down the ice by Sweden. A bit of a knuckler. And no icing. They'll get the change in they need as Korbaka out of his own zone. Quickly to that right side, and it's fired in by Jujonskis. In comes Filevka. Controlled by Sweden. Lindstein. And just offside as Stenberg. He's frustrated. He was wide open up that right wing and couldn't cash in. Here's that look. Wrap try. Right through the crease, so close for Anton Wahlberg.
Well, on Christmas Day, the Swedish team got a visit from a special guest, not Santa, but the second best thing, goalie Linus Ullmark. The Senators goalie had one big piece of advice for this Swedish team: shoot as hard as you bleeping can so the goalie can't react. And it's something they need more of here in this third period, guys.
Bleeping, that's a Swedish word.
I think that's international, Craig. Here's Willander at center. They'll work it in. So 3-2 Sweden. What a game. Eric Matejko has popped a pair for Latvia. Leads the tournament now in goal scoring with 5.
Dave Reed will tell you this story. He was in the game. 1997, the Stanley Cup playoffs in Dallas Stars. We had lost a game when leading in the third period in like 150 games. All of a sudden it was 3-1. We're up 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. Kelly Buchberger wins it in overtime. Seemingly out of nowhere. And Edmonton ultimately won that series in 7 games on the great Todd Marchand breakaway goal.
Oliver's Morinix can't win the draw. Morinix was the youngest player ever in Latvian history to score at the U18 level. That was in Tech. That was last year in Finland. Now as a 16-year-old, he scored in this tournament for Latvia. Puck battle behind the net as Enstrom from his knees trying to center that puck in front. Morinix off the right side. Matejko, 2 goals in the game. Wrist shot. Tallinn steers that aside. Boulons deep in the corner. Hesitating is Willander, and he'll start to play to Ungersor. A little move through the legs at center. And he'll dump it back. He wanted to change, and he'll start one. Things are tightening up in the building. You can feel it. Here's Eklund. Up that right wing, wrist shot. And Bellbergs directed that. Far boards. Wahlberg to Hellquist. That shot just wide. And Bellberg's now 200 saves in the tournament. And counting. Eklund in the corner. Tries to center. He does. Wahlberg spinning, shooting, side of the net. Eklund. Tenacious work. He's done this all tournament for Sweden. Buzzing around the offensive zone. Plays it behind the net. Up top, Hellquist. Gustafsson, wrist shot. Gets it back. Walks it in. Gustafsson, another wrister. That's not Bellberg's the save. Eagle Gustafsson still on the puck. They'll deliver it in deep. Wahlberg comes into the corner. Led by Boulons, and Boulons able to get that to center, and Latvia taking the change now. Korbaka, first man in. Pinned by Granberg. Granberg trying to free it. He's working there with Horsfall. Long shot through a traffic as Sandy Pellikka let it go. And Bellbergs fights it off, finds the puck, and makes the save. Axel Sandy Pellikka, his team, the captain, leading by 1.
Eric Matejko has been front and center for Latvia throughout the tournament, and certainly when you're down 3-0 in a game, seemingly not having anything going, he gets the first goal and then right to the net on the second goal. Latvia really hanging in there and doing everything they can to make life uncomfortable for Sweden.
He turned 19 back in November, on November 18th. What a tournament. He will never forget this one here in the nation's capital. 43 shots for Sweden, 12 for Latvia. Off the drop, cleaned up by Korbaka. He'll reverse it across. Jujonskis up the right side. There's Sandy Pellikka. Bergquist skates it to center. Gets the red line, flips it in. Isaac Hedquist in the corner. Pinned by Korbaka. Jujonskis down the ice. And getting clipped was Daniel Sierkins.
Well, we've talked about a lot of things. We talked about Matejko, but Feldbergs has been outstanding. And You know, I referenced that playoff game in 1997 with the Dallas Stars. Dave Reed was in the game, but like Feldberg's here, the great Curtis Joseph was in the net for the Edmonton Oilers, and you're not going to get wins, let alone upset wins, without top-notch goaltending. Certainly that is exactly what Feldbergs has delivered here for Latvia.
7th place for Latvia, 2022. That was in Edmonton, best ever finish. They need at least one more. And as we've seen in this tournament, you just never know. Lifshitz can't win it. Undersorum curls around, backhand right in front, still loose, Stenberg! The follow-up and stopped again by Feldbergs, the left pad. Stenberg got drilled as that puck was loose.
Again, off a face-off, quickly onto the puck, and then quickly directed towards the net. Just a real good play. We've seen Undersorum do this before, twist off, but then Stenberg goes right to that net area. He gets a shot on it with his backhand, kicks it to his backhand, but down low, Feldberg just shuts it down. There's the kick to the stick, but shutting down that lower part of the net. Well done by Feldbergs.
Stenberg, Craig, 5 goals, 9 points last year at the World Junior. Just the 1 goal this year, 6 points. Well, you even saw the goal he scored, the relief you could see on his face when he scored it.
Great chance there, had a chance to hit the post earlier.
Lindstein, Lander, one-time drive, rebound in front, oh, the bank shot nearly worked. Feldberg's down. Alertly, Undersorum tried to bank it in off the pads, and Feldbergs didn't bite.
Just the quickness, and we're seeing it again, right off the face-off, how quickly Sweden not only gets possession, but how they attack. Off the back of the leg of Feldbergs. That stick goes, and then he's just hoping, please let it be underneath me. And it is. Right off the pad, off the inside leg. It's really alert by Undersorum.
Plays for Sherbrooke in the Quebec Maritime Junior Hockey League. Leonards Feldbergs. Quick strike! Oh my goodness! You kidding me? Stenberg again! This guy's unbelievable.
What a shot. Oh. You think about how Stenberg has not been able to find the back of the net. Some quality chances. Big face-off win by Edstrom, and
Stenberg again off the draw. That shot was blocked. Don't blink off these faceoffs.
That's the best advice right now, because things happen so quickly off the faceoff.
7 minutes remaining. What a game. Our first quarterfinal. Stenberg on the puck. He'll rip it in. Feldbergs. They'll tee it up behind the net. Oskars Briodis. Assessing ice. Briodis goes to the right side as Siratskis works it in. And again, look out. Weird bounce again. And we've seen it all tournament long. Luckily, Mott's couldn't get there in time for Sweden. Or unluckily for Mott's, as he's got the puck right now. To Korbaka. He'll play it up the left side. Mott's goes to work in the corner. To Holmes Mott's. Good battle right now on that shift for the young man. He's in there with Bearskowns. Bearskowns, Mott's. They're able to work it free. Back up to the point. Uzjanskis. Works it back down below the goal line. Bearskowns up high. Spun around to his Korbaka. He couldn't get the shot away. Ripped back in by Ojolapa. And Latvia, a full 5-man change.
They're going to have to find a way. Latvia is, they're going to have to find a way to get some shots on that. They've had 1 shot on goal this period.
And remember, too, one of the TSN turning points, that successful challenge for an offside. Alertly, Feldbergs into the glove. You can hear some MVP chants going on in the crowd for the goalie.
So there's no change. We're into a timeout zone. You're not allowed to go to the timeout when the goalie freezes the puck on a shot from the other side of the ice.
Face off to the right of Feldbergs. Sweden wins another one. Sandy Pellikka drifts one in. Never got through. Dilevka Up the left wing, Vilevka over the line, he'll leave it. Sirkin's high shot, that deflects, it goes over the net. Didn't hit Tallinn. Lipschitz trying to drive it in. Comes up top, quick shot, left pad stop, and a big one. As Briadis, a good chance in, look. Back the other way, puck available, spinning feet in front, side of the net. Horsfall ran out of room. Zeb Horsfall, he got taken down. Puck in the corner as Wahlberg goes to work. You gotta love the World Juniors, where anything can happen. That's a hand pass, but Latvia will touch. Play continues. Oskars Briadis. Briadis behind his goalie, he'll lead. Burbaka. Burbaka thought about the pass, now he does to center. Enstrom nearly had it, then he lost it to Matejko. Matejko couldn't bring it in, so they'll reload. Burbaka to the right side as it hit Sirodskis and goes in deep. Reaching for it is Mornieks. The 16-year-old Mornieks. Knocked down by Burbaka and worked back in by Latvia. In comes Sirodskis in the corner. Valander under some duress. He'll play behind his net to Lindstad. Unger Sorum looking for the home run pass, and he's got it. Here's Unger Sorum. Off the left side, Edstrom was cruising towards the net. Couldn't find him, though, as Unger Sorum protects the puck. Took a check from Matejko. Alquist, some space. He'll drop it off. Quick shot, just missed Edstrom. Stenberg picks it up. They'll feed the line. Bertig, Alquist, Eklund on the ice. Eklund shoots, big rebound, kick the side. Eklund follows up, another try. In tight, and Bellberg stopped both. Victor Eklund with the push, jumped off the bench and right into the action. He just turned 18 back on October the 3rd, Eklund, and then the follow-up, good stop, Sveltbergs. All four quarterfinals on TSN today, and this is the first one at Canadian Tire Center, Switzerland, USA. The Americans, the defending champs, the gold medalists from last year, and there's one of the star players walking in, Cole Hudson, Washington Capitals second-round pick. He began the day tied for the tournament leading scoring with Axel Sandy Pellikka, who has now overtaken him. And what a game, Craig. 3-2, Sweden 50 shots, 3:48 to go.
Proving very difficult to get it past Felsbergs.
Raus Osholapa. Some words from the official to David Edstrom. Edstrom, Osholapa. Critical stage of the game. Winner moves on to the semifinal. And what a game it's been. Clean win, Edstrom. Sandy Pellikka's got the puck. Try to work it in and hit Moss. As he'll play it for Bearskouts. Bearskouts over the line. He'll take a big body check. Sandy Pellikka hammered him. But he got the puck in deep. And now it's chipped back to center. It's been a physical game. Bearskouts. He'll work it in deep again. Osholapa into the corner. He lost it. Bergquist there. Rasmus Bergquist. He'll skate it up ice himself. Then he lost it. He was checked by Osholapa. Unger Sorum. Over the line with Nielsen. Unger Sorum. Behind the net. Felix Unger Sorum. Takes it round the world. All the way back up top. Unger Sorum continues to skate with the puck. He'll stop far wall. Nielsen at the far point. Throws one in. Missed the net. Sent up by Briadis. And it deflected right on the stick of Vilevka. And he lost it to Nielsen. Nielsen will take it back to center. Nielsen through center ice over the line to the left side for Wahlberg. Under 3 minutes to go. 3-2 Sweden. Latvia's got to push here at some point. Keep an eye on Bellbergs, but right now Sweden. Oh, Eklund just took a big check from Siunskis from behind. No surprise, Eklund back to work though. As he grinds in the corner. Matejko played it to his goalie. And on the stick now of Siunskis. Siunskis up the right side. Here's Matejko at center. 2 goals in the game. Matejko, he'll stop. Matejko throws it in the slot area. Up high. Burbaka. They'll work it in deep. Still Bellbergs in his net. Hasn't moved yet. Back to the line. Burbaka. They'll curl around. Burbaka towards the net. Tipped and just wide as Matejko was in front. Matejko below the goal line, reaching for it, played into the corner. Here comes Ujanskis. Still no movement from Veldbergs. Backhanded in by Korbaka. Lindstein jams it, and that will be close. And it is indeed icing. It is now the time for Veldbergs to go to the bench. Win it. And he can't versus Horsfall. Play along the wall. Big contact. Lipschitz in there as well, trying to get to the puck. It's just held in. Driven back in by Boulons. Sweden trying to clear. They can't. Boulons works it right back into Lindstein. Lindstein the backhand. Boulons kicks at it. Bouncing in the slot area as Matejko. Back to the line, Matejko, he'll leave it as Matejko sets up in front of the net. Hustling over to keep it onside is Boulons. And just, Lander hits his man. Siunsis trying to clear. Chip to center, Wahlberg, does he have the gas? Empty net, Wahlberg, all tangled up as he's taken down by Lipschitz. 45 seconds left in the game. Boulons. Off to the right side, Siratskis. He'll hand it off. Siunskis brings it in. Siratskis works it across. Lipschitz across. Time winding down. Siunskis gives it away. The empty net available. Felix Nilsson. He'll bring it in. And a good block in tight to keep it out. As Boulons saved the goal. But time winding down. Just 15 seconds left for Latvia. As Sweden desperately pins it in the corner, killing off some more time. Maybe one last rush here for Latvia. They got to be quick. Ojalapa lost it, flipped down the ice, and there's Lipschitz. It was a heck of an effort, but not enough. Sweden hangs on and takes this first quarterfinal game, and they'll move on. But what an effort from Latvia as they never quit.
Talk about putting tension on your opponent. That's exactly what Latvia did. Full marks to Latvia. As you pointed out, Brian, halfway through this game, I mean, it was so tilted in Sweden's favor. And then killing that penalty. Challenge on the offside that took a goal off the board. Unbelievable effort by Latvia.
Now the emotion from Harris Junskis. Celebration for Sweden. Valkyrie Tallinn, some big saves when they needed him. And Sweden trying to get back to that gold medal game. They advance to the semifinals.
The 2025 IIHF World Junior Championship from Ottawa, Ontario is proudly presented by TELUS, now offering pure fiber internet across Canada. By Esso, from the Esso Medals program to representing Team Canada. Esso is dedicated to Canada's game. And by Tim Hortons Flatbread Pizza. Order on the Tim's app today.